at 7. Some polling stations not opening on time, but so far, a little bit earlier I spoke to Jackson Mthembu and he was saying that it's all thumbs up for the IEC. They've done a stunning job. Your view on today?
Yes, there have been some technical problems, sometimes fairly serious technical problems, but those technical problems have by and large been sorted out here by the IEC. And although some of the stations opened late, sometimes the wrong ballot papers were delivered to stations, sometimes no ballot papers were delivered, but by and large these problems have been sorted out and the flow of voters is going fairly smoothly.
We obviously want those that were frustrated a little bit earlier to head back to their polling station in their respective areas.
Certainly we do, and we as a party are contacting those people and encouraging them to return because every vote in this election is going to be critically important.
One thing today, and I can see driving through Pretoria, I still see some DA tables in front of polling stations. Does the DA think it's done enough in the run-up to the August 3rd polls to make sure that people today those undecided ones will put their cross next to a DA sign name?
Well, there's always something else you could have done, but we have been going at this election now for more than a year. We have really pulled out all the stops. We have communicated with voters in a variety of different ways, going door to door. We've communicated over the telephone. We've communicated through the media. We really have tried to persuade people that if they want change that creates jobs and cuts corruption, they have to vote for the DA.
It's quite an interesting thing when you monitor international news agencies and how their view is of South Africa, especially big international news platforms. One of the things that comes up all the time, even if you read as little as 3 hours ago, is the youth vote. The first-time voter, the one that has no connection to our past, doesn't clearly maybe see the benefits of the election and hasn't really been conscientized.
Yes, it is a problem right around the world. What we have done, however, is to concentrate on students. We have a very vibrant student organisation on just about every campus in South Africa. We've also communicated with young people via social media. We have a whole department that deals with social media and which communicates directly in a way that young people understand and appreciate, and I think we will get a greater proportion of youth vote than many other political parties.
When we started this conversation, you said that maybe there was some more things we could have done. Sitting here now, maybe what is the one thing that you thought we could have worked harder there?
Well, it's not so much as one thing, but what we would have liked to have done would be to have talked to every single South African face to face to land our message with those voters. But clearly that requires a lot of people and a lot of time, and we certainly didn't have all the time we would have liked to have had to have done that.
One of the other things I'm going to ask you about, and we've seen this run-up, we've seen it in the media, we've seen the political parties talk about it, but there's a perception about the DA, and I know that you're making slow inroads, or you're making inroads in that, but there's still this idea that ideologically it's white.
Well, let me put it to you this way. In 2014, for the first time, a majority of not white South Africans supported the DA. Our membership is overwhelmingly not white. Our leadership is gradually becoming overwhelmingly not white. And it is only a matter of time before the party becomes thoroughly diverse. It is at the moment the most diverse political party in South Africa. We want it to be even more diverse. And it's simply a question of time before that happens.
Mr. Self, thank you very much for talking to us. DA James Self, just giving us his sense of how the day is unfolding and also the lead up to the local elections. Alicia, maybe you can ask your analyst, both the ANC and the DA are talking big. What is really happening inside those war rooms at the moment?
Absolutely, Sam. Thank you so much for that live update from the action floor, as I call it. And of course, Sam Marshall there with the DA's Mr. James Saaf. I'm now joined in studio by Professor Keleboga Mapunye, and he is the Wiphold Begalia BAM Chair in Electoral Democracy here in South Africa. He's going to be taking us through some of the developments today. Prof, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon, Alicia. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's exciting. It's crazy. The day that everyone has been waiting for has finally arrived.
Look, let's talk about that, Prof. I mean, your general overview of the race up to today.
My general impression is that so far things have gone well, except bits and pieces of pockets of instability, violence in the places that have been reported, violence in places like Vuwani, as well as those which were reported earlier in the areas around KwaZulu-Natal. But overall, if you look at the